Doing your day today. Happy Friday. It's nice that it will be the weekend tomorrow. Our final lesson of time today. Next week we're moving on to a new topic. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You're going to find out next week and be a surprise for you. So our final lesson, remember we are doing a little bit of year 4 work, but these this lesson I'm going to go through nice and clearly. I will model every single example nice and clearly. The lesson we're doing is time calculations, and then remember, after you've watched the lesson and you've also gone on to the measurement lesson yourself and had a little go at the questions yourself, then you need to log into my portal and do the homework that has been set for you. Okay, so let's give the lesson a go. Wait for it to load. So today we're looking at what we might call a number line. Okay, you can see that this number line starts at 5. We don't know whether it's AM or PM. Okay, I'm guessing it's PM. I don't think many people are up at 5 in the morning watching TV, but it goes from 5 to 7. We don't really need to know if it's the morning or afternoon, but it's 5 till 7. A TV program starts at 5:40. Okay, here is 5:40, and it lasts for 40 minutes. What time does it finish? So the first thing we need to do is work out how much each of these little bars is worth. How many minutes is each bar worth? Just like on a clock, we have the dots, which represent 1 minute, and the lines, which represent 5 minutes. This will also represent an amount of time. We can see the big lines. Between the big lines is half an hour, because it goes from 5 to 5:30 to 6. We can also see that 2 lines are 10 minutes, because 5:30 to 5:40 would be 10 minutes. Therefore, each little line must be 5 minutes. So this would be 5:30, 5:35, 5:40, 5:45, 5:50, 5:55, 6 o'clock. Wouldn't be 5:60, that's not a time. So it lasts for 40 minutes, the TV program. What time did it finish? So I just count up in 5s to 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I know this line here represents the time when the program finishes. If you need to write this on paper to be able to see it yourself, that's fine, because it's a bit tricky. On an interactive whiteboard, I would circle that line, but I can't on this computer, unfortunately. So we know it's here. And if we know each line's 5 minutes, and we know it ends here, we can go 6:05, 6:10, 6:15, 6:20. So we know that the program ends at 6:20. Now MyMaths does it a slightly different way. Okay, MyMaths jumps from here to the nearest hour. 5:40 to 6 o'clock is 20 minutes. And then we know we need another 20 minutes to get to 40 minutes. So it jumps forward again, another 20 minutes to 6:20. Now, either way, either the method I used or the way MyMaths decided to do it gets to the right answer. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. MyMaths has chunked the minutes into 20-minute blocks, whereas I counted them in 5-minute blocks. But we both got the same answer, 6:20, so it doesn't matter. 6:20. Okay, so adding to the nearest hour was useful because then you can add on the rest of the time. So let's have a look. A diver has 25 minutes of air in their tank. They start diving at 2:55. So here I think it would be useful to get to the nearest hour. Okay, I'm hoping you all know that nearest hour would be 3, and that would be in 5 minutes time. So what we would need to do, I wish I could write on this screen. What we would need to do is take 5 minutes off 25 to get 20. And then if we have 3 plus 20, 3 o'clock plus 20 more minutes, we would get to 3:20. A jogger starts running at 5:45. They run for 50 minutes. What time do they stop? Now we know it's 15 minutes to the nearest hour. This time I'm going to put a 6 in there first, because we know that if we had 6 o'clock, we would be 15 minutes ahead. So we need to take 15 minutes off 50. Now 50, take away 15. You could use a column method, or you could do it mentally. It's 35. So we know adding 15 on, we get to 6 o'clock. Then we need to take away the 0, 0 and add on 35. Final one. A TV program starts at 2:45 and lasts for 30 minutes. This one's slightly easier because we know that if we have a quarter to the hour, if it's 2:45, quarter to 3, then it would be quarter of an hour to 3, and then quarter of an hour after 3. Quarter plus a quarter makes a half, which is 30, would be quarter past 3. 3:15. So, a cake took 1 hour and 35 minutes to bake. It came out of the oven at 4:10. So we know this is the end time. It came out at 4:10. So it's asking us what time did it go in. Okay, this one's a little bit more tricky. The first thing that I'm going to do is take away the hour, because that's the easiest thing to do. Take away a whole hour, and we know that will take us all the way back to 3:10. Then how I'm going to do it is count back 35 minutes. So I'm on 3:10 now, and I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Now I can see that I'm 1 bar ahead of 2:30, 1 bar ahead, and it's the same, that each bar represents 5 minutes, so it must be 2:35. Let's see it visually. So they jump back an hour from 4:10 to 3:10, and we still need to jump back. We could cross out that hour. We still need to jump back 35 minutes. Okay, so what MyMaths has done is they've jumped 10 minutes, and then you could jump back 25 minutes, or you could do it the way I did it, which was to count backwards. It would be your choice. Okay, so they've done an hour, then 10, then 25. I did an hour and then 35. But either way, we got to the same answer, 2:35. So, a show lasts 2 hours and 35 minutes and finishes at 7:15. So the first thing I'm going to type in is the hours. Oh, no, I'm not, because actually I can see that it's going to go back more than just 2. If I change that to 5, I would have to go back even more. So I'm going to actually, this one, I'm going to do the 35-minute takeaway, 15 takeaway 35 first. So 7:15, what I could do is I could draw a clock, and I could even count back. 7:15 takeaway 35, I'd go 15, 10, 5, o'clock, 55, 50, 45, and then 40. So I've got back to 6:40, and I'm taking off another 2 hours. So it would be 6:40, 5:40, 4:40. Now, I wish I could draw that for you, but unfortunately I don't have the equipment on this computer to be able to draw it. But hopefully you will be able to draw it out yourself. And don't worry if you don't understand it, because these questions are very tricky, because they are year 4 questions, okay? So I'm still going to model them, but if you find it too tricky, then just give it a go. Remember I always say try, because it helps you to make mistakes and it helps you to get things wrong. Okay, so this one, we can see that the cyclist finishes the race at 5:05, and it was 3 hours and 40 minutes long. So I'm going to count backwards from the 5:05. Okay. Now, if I had it at 5 o'clock and I took off 40 minutes, then it would be 4:20. So I'm going to know that if it was 5:05 and I took off 40 minutes, I just have to go from 20 to the 25. 4:25. Because it's 5 minutes ahead, so it'll end 5 minutes after. So 4:25. Then I take off the 3 hours, 4:25, 3:25, 2:25, 1:25. Ooh. I need to finish knitting at 8:05. I worked for 3 hours and 35 minutes. First thing I'm going to do is take off the 5 minutes off the 35 and the 8 o'clock. So now I've got, they finished knitting, I'm going to say it's 8 o'clock, and they're taking off 3 hours and 30 minutes, which isn't too hard because I can take off 30 minutes to 7:30 and then 3 hours, 7:30, 6:30, 5:30, 4:30. Let's see if I got them all right, because I got a little bit confused trying to do this one in my head. Yes, brilliant. Okay, a plane takes off at 7:44. You can see it's very nearly on the 7:45, but it's not quite. It's ever so slightly before it, 1 minute before it. And it lands at 9:20. So here they're asking you to work out the jumps from 7:44 to 9:20. How long has it been? So the first thing I would do is make it 8 o'clock. Okay, so I would add on the minutes to 8 o'clock, work out how many more minutes until 8 o'clock. I know if it was 45 minutes, it would be 15. So if it's 44, it must be 16 minutes to 8 o'clock. And then I know it's an hour from 8 until 9, so that'd be 1 hour. So 1 hour and 16 minutes. And then I need to add another 20 minutes on at the end. So 20 plus 16 is 36. And the hour, 1 hour, 36. So you can see they've jumped 16 minutes to the next hour. And then they've put an hour. And then they've got the 20. And remember, if you've drawn it, then it's easy for you to remember the numbers. Because if I did the 60 minutes and then I did the hour and 20 and I'd forgotten what I had here, I could look back if I'd written it down and seen it. It's much easier to write these numbers down to add them together. I'm doing it all in my head today, but it's making my head hurt. And if you've written it all down, then you're way better than me. So, as I said, 60 minutes plus 1 hour plus 20 minutes would be 1 hour, because we've got the 1 hour and the minute, and then we're adding the 20 and the 16 together, and that would be 36. Okay, I'm going to skip that one because it is very tricky stuff. And that's not something that you need to know this year. Next year, when you move into year 4 and you get one of the year 4 teachers, I'm going to leave it up to them to go through modelling that kind of things with you. But I will go through these final 3 questions, which are a mix of what we've just gone through. A news programme started at 20 to 4. It lasts for 45 minutes. When does it finish? So I know if it's 20 to 4, then after 20 minutes, it will be at 4 o'clock. And then if I took 20 minutes or 45 minutes, it would be 25 minutes. So it would end at 4:25. A roast takes 2 hours and 45 minutes to cook. Marker wants it ready at 25 past 8. So when should he start cooking? So I'm going to take off the minutes to 8 o'clock. So that would be 45, take away 25, which would be 20. There would be 20 minutes left. So 8 o'clock, it would be, I need to go back 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I take off 2 hours. It'll be 8, 7, 6. And then if I take off another 20 minutes, it'll be 20 to 6, which is the same as 5:40. I went through that very fast. Don't worry if you don't understand it, or you can try and draw it for yourself to understand it if you want to. So coach journey starts at 2:27 and it ends at 6:34. So we want to know how many hours and minutes a journey takes. So from 2 until 6 will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will take 4 hours. Oh, not 5, 4 hours. And then from 27 to 34, okay, we can even count up on this one, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 7 minutes. Okay, now I've done a whistle-stop tour of this lesson. If you find the homework tricky, give it a go anyway. Okay, see which ones you can get right and give yourself a huge pat on the back if you get them right, because it is work for year 4 and that would be amazing if you did really well on it. Okay, if you don't do well on it and you don't get very many right, that's fine. Us teachers are not going to be upset because we know that we set work that's year 4 work and we just want to see how well you have learnt your time. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your day and have a lovely weekend, and I'll be back for my next video on Monday.